Welcome to Contract Entry in Munis. We're looking at the Tyler menu, and you can access it by clicking here. And if you have any other questions about how to find individual screens in Munis, please click the video in the upper right hand corner of the screen and you can learn more there. But once you've opened the Tyler menu, you can click Financials, and then Purchasing, then Contract Management, and then Contract Entry to go right into the Contract Entry screen. So if you have any questions about the general layout of screens in Munis, please click the video in the upper right and get a full walkthrough there. But for the purposes of specifically keying contracts into Munis, we're going to be mainly concerned with the Actions group. That's specifically the green plus sign for adding records, and then the little Excel-looking pencil thing that updates records. So if you're going to be keying a brand new contract into Munis, just start with the green plus sign and you'll create a new record. Then the next thing you'll have to do is click the +1 to auto-generate the contract number. Next, you'll select the method for this particular contract. The majority of the contracts we're going to be keying are limitless, although not all of them. If you have any questions, follow up with Randy or Mike. Once you've selected limitless, then go down to the vendor number. If you know the vendor number, you can key it directly, or you can click the ellipses and then type any word as part of the vendor name and then hit accept to search, and then Munis will return back all of the vendors that match your search. Hopefully you see your vendor in there. Public technology is what we want in this case, so we'll click accept and you'll see that the vendor number auto-populates. Press tab through the next few fields, leaving the to be rolled checkbox checked and the hold payments checkbox unchecked until you get to the department field. Now this field you can directly key the department number into if you know it, or you can click the ellipses to the right of the field in order to pick from a selection of the different departments. In this case we're picking Department 21, which is ITS. We'll continue to tab through these fields until we get to the description field, where we'll key in the description of this particular contract. You'll continue to tab through year and period, which auto-populate from the system, and then you'll get to type and subtype, which are contingent fields, meaning that depending upon the type that you choose, you'll get different lists of subtypes. So in this particular case, we're doing goods and services, and then the subtype is services. Then continue to tab through the remaining fields here until you get to administrator, or what you guys would call a KOTAR. Note that as with previous fields, there is an ellipsis to the right of this field that allows you to search for any of the people who you can populate in here, and then note that their name is in the form of their network ID, which is their first name dot last name. Once you've entered this, either can-keyed it like we have here or selected them by clicking on the ellipses, once you press tab you'll see that their name auto-populates to the right. You'll then continue to tab through the remaining fields. The workflow field is none because you're directly keying a contract into Munis, and then you'll flip over to the dates. Now in this section you'll be keying all of the relevant dates for this particular contract, and the format is the month, then the day, then the year, and once you push tab you'll see that it formats it in the way that Munis likes. Note also those little calendar icons to the right allow you to pick specific dates from a calendar. And if you have any questions as to which date fields to use, follow up with Randy and Mike. After you've finished keying all of the relevant date fields for this particular contract, press tab to continue to move through the rest of the fields on this screen until you flip over to the user-defined fields screen. Now these fields are really going to be helpful in reporting and being able to turn the current manually updated master contract list into something that's just a report that we run straight out of Munis. So you'll key in the option years for this particular contract and then the option years remaining, and each of these you just enter the numeric value. And then for living wage you'll see that its required checkbox is checked, and you can click the ellipses next to the field to see the values that you can enter into this particular field. So in this case it's a Y for yes and an N for no. External contract works the same way, where you could directly key in a Y or an N, or click the ellipses to see the values that you're able to key in. Now, external contract name is a field that I really encourage you to have a comprehensive naming convention for. And by that, I mean if it's a Fairfax County contract, don't sometimes enter them as Fairfax County and other times as County of Fairfax, because that's really going to damage your ability to do reporting. Someone's going to ask how many Fairfax County contracts do we write, and you're going to dump it into Excel, and you're going to be so mad. So develop a naming convention and say it's Fairfax County dash public technology or Fairfax County dash whatever the contract is, and enter it the same way all the time. External contract number accepts letters, numbers, other characters, so you can use, as you can see here, dashes, and you should be able to enter the contract number exactly as the outside entity does. Next is SWAM status, the specific subsets of which you can select by clicking the ellipses to the right. And then we have eProcure number, which is our crosswalk back to the old eProcure system. So in that particular system, we use master blanket purchase order number as the unique number to differentiate between different records. So if you just want to key in MBPO dash whatever the master blanket purchase order number is, we'll be able to crosswalk between both systems for as long as we need to keep them both running in parallel. And after pushing tab to get out of the eProcure number field, you'll push accept in the upper left in order to save your record. Now, you could have pushed accept to save your progress at any point from this main screen in contract entry, so you don't have to enter one all in one sitting. But if you've entered everything you need to enter and you feel good about your contract, the last step is actually to push the release button up here and release it into workflow. This means that Randy and Mike will get a notification that you have created a contract, and they'll review it and then output post it into Munis, where it will be searchable by you or anyone else who has access to the contracts module. And that's actually the last step in this process. So that's it. Good luck, and please reach out if you have any questions.